This is Yoga the Other 98% on 1360thesource.com. 1360thesource.com. Our guest tonight is Yogani. Yogani is the author and purveyor of the fine website AdvancedYogaPractices.com. Advanced Yoga Practices with an S.com. And Yogani, at this point, how many people are hitting your website a month?
Well, it's somewhere between 20 and 30,000 hits a day, and there's a whole group of websites, and I guess altogether over the last 3 years or so, there's been over 100,000 visitors there.
Wow.
I also wanted to mention, as a practical matter, for those who want to experiment with deep meditation, of course, you should read the lessons on the website and or in the books. And if you have questions, my email address is on the website, but guess what? It's getting impossible for me to handle all the emails.
Imagine that.
So if you have questions, the first place to go would be to the AYP forums, which you can also get to from the website. And there's a very large group of people there and a lot of very helpful people there. And I'm there, too. And if questions are brought up there, then everybody benefits. And if it's something personal and you don't want to share it in public, feel free to write me. But, you know, the basic questions on practice would be best if they go to the forums.
Yeah, it's sort of like if you're having problems with your iPod, chances are there's a quick place to go to get a quick fix and a quick answer. And going to the forums with AdvancedYogaPractices.com would be a great place to start. Our telephone number, 877-345-3779. Let's go ahead and go to Guy in New York. Guy, you're on with Yogani.
Hi, Yogani. Good evening to you, sir.
Hi, Guy. How are you?
Great. My question is for somebody who's just coming into meditation and the spiritual work, how would you suggest one get started, and what would be the process?
Well, probably reading a little bit more from the lessons would be good, rather than just relying on this radio show, although I think it's a great show, don't you, Scott?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I do.
100%, or 98%.
But,
yeah.
But if you go through the lessons on the website, which are free, by the way, you can read about a half a dozen lessons and be very well equipped to sit down and start meditating, and that's all there is to it. Just sit down and get started twice a day, and the instructions are right in there. And many questions have come in over the last few years, and the format of the lessons is Q&A to a large degree, so it's very much not just me by myself telling everybody how to do things, but it's a lot of back and forth with questions. So I think it's a good environment for beginners, especially if they go through in order. I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting on lesson 162 or anything like that.
Sure.
No, that'll blow your mind.
Although,
that one.
You know, it's an open source resource, so anybody can read wherever they like, and this is a self-directed approach to spiritual practice, and we try and provide as much support as we can, but in the end it's up to you, the reader, and the practitioner.
Have you, Guy, have you done anything at all yet?
You know, I have, and I can only say what little I have done in relation to the whole process has been very rewarding for me, and I just have to say I'm so appreciative of the things Yogani has done, and I have to be honest, and I've got to recommend for anybody who has the time to check out his writings and the lessons on the website.
Okay, now, Guy, Guy, how many people have you personally told about the website?
Boy, that's a great question. I'm going to say maybe in the hundreds, but I've...
That's where everybody comes from.
That's where I came from. I was, to be honest, I was on a Taoist website and I saw a link to Yogani's website, and as soon as I started reading the lessons,
right,
it was very clear to me that everything I was reading and the order in which it was being offered it just made a ton of sense, and that's all I can say. So,
well, you beat me. I don't think I've referred to 100 people, but certainly quite a few. I mean, everybody that I know that has even an inkling of interest in this is like, okay, you need to go beyond me. Here's how it's laid out in a very, very simple way so that you can get on that path.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, both of you. You know, it's really time for everybody to have this. It's not necessary to go to the mountaintop and get it anymore, and it's time I really believe it's time, and the response that we've had over the last few years has convinced me more than ever. And I thank all of you for being there to take advantage of my scribbling.
Guy, anything else?
Well, the only other thing I would say is it's a real pleasure that Yogani absolutely takes no personal accolations or gain or anything from his work, and it's obvious. By the way, he maintains his anonymity, and I think it says a lot about just the whole teaching. And anyway, the sincere intentions of Yogani.
He does take hand massages in trade just to help out because he types a lot.
All right, I'm in.
All right, Guy. Well,
thanks for taking my call.
Keep telling folks about it, and keep telling folks that Yogani is going to be here on the radio again next weekend, okay?
It's a great thing you guys do at the radio station, and I'll do whatever I can to support your station and your cause.
Well, appreciate that very much,
Okay.
Guy. All right.
Good night.
Happy New Year to you.
Bye.
All righty. Yogani, we just have a few minutes left. How would you like to wrap this one up for tonight and prepare people for next week?
Well, I want to thank Will Brashear and the Cincinnati Yoga School for making the show possible. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, would we? And I guess there is a means for donating to the show, which maybe you can bring up next time. Other than that, I really just would like to wish everybody a very happy New Year, and those who have a New Year's resolution to begin meditating in 2007, you can start a little early if you want to.
Start tonight. Why not?
Yeah.
It'll just be a little bit early.
But it's been great. I really appreciate being on the show. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate the expertise that you have and that you bring to us. And both Will and I recognized how valuable this information is. And as you have said before, it's about time that it's come down off the mountaintop and put into hands like of schmucks like me.
Well, next week let's talk about breathing.
Okay. Deep meditation would be the first step, and then a lever, a little tool to put in your toolbox to start to get that accelerator moving a little bit quicker would be pranayama. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's good enough for me.
And I can read it on the page and never know how. Will always laughs at me because my pronunciation for some Sanskrit and some Hindu words is just atrocious. But eventually, when I say, "Well, it's this," or "It's like this," or "You do this," he sort of understands. So, Yogani, thank you so much. Once again, AdvancedYogaPractices.com. AdvancedYogaPractices.com is the website. It is worth it to you. And if you know anybody else who's involved in a spiritual path or in yoga or looking inward, tell them to check it out. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week here on 1360thesource.com.